It's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. Over the middle, hauled in by Lamb. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. A good start offensively. 15 yards on the game's initial play.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Prescott's throw complete here to his receiver, Brown. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. Two nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? And a very determined run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 27. Good effort. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
They run it for the first time with Tony Pollard. And just good downhill running there as he'll take this to the 15-yard line. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Buying time to his left. That's into the hands of Gallup over the middle. And the Cowboys are looking at first and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line.
A lot of precision being shown on this opening drive. They've been methodical. They've been crisp. And as a reward, they're going to be set up with an early first and goal.
Pollard is in. Touchdown, Dallas. Looking sharp on that first drive. These guys, of course, coming off back-to-back victories. And you see that kind of advancing into this game, don't you?
You certainly do. And when you have a team that doesn't get too full of itself, even though they've won 2 games in a row, you get the end result that we saw there. That nice opening drive because they're sharp, they're focused, and they're locked into everything that they're doing.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded right at the goal line. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Hurts and the Eagles come up here first and 10 at their own 21. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them. And I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
Miles Sanders, first carry of the game. And he'll be brought down here at the 28. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Well, this defense for the Cowboys, they were terrific last week in the win over the Rams.
And I don't know what the actual percentages are, and I don't know the analytics when you create 5 turnovers or takeaways in a game. But coaches always say, when you create a number that high, your chances of winning probably up over 98%. I haven't seen that number quantified, but I believe them.
And a high throw there as this is knocked away, down to the ground and incomplete. Here's Aaron Sipos out now to punt on 4th down. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. And this kick will be touched down as they spot it inside the 45-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They have to be thrilled with that first drive. They got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Meanwhile, Dak's throw complete into the hands of Schultz here. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Jordan Davis in there to record the 2nd sack of his young NFL career. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Another try after the first down sack. Prescott on the left side. Gallup's got it. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. It's a gain of 13 for number 13, and it gives him a first down. Now Prescott. He'll get this out wide here to Elliott. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
Now Elliott. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. Again, it's Elliott. And he will take it in for a Cowboy score. Ezekiel Elliott, his 7th rushing touchdown of the year. And the Cowboys go up by 2 touchdowns. Extra point by Moore, up and good. And it's now 14-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest. You get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Throwing is Hurts. Going deep here for Watkins. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Lewis. And the Cowboys are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line.
And I think this is a situation where a quarterback coach in the sideline is going to talk to a signal caller and say, listen, it's 3rd and long, and it's still early in the game. Let's not force things here. If we don't feel good about it, let's just check something down and pump the football.
The first down run for Elliott will net him about 5 yards. It's 2nd down.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
From just shy of midfield, Prescott. Man open downfield is Gallup. He's got it. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a first down. Prescott. Over the middle, complete. It's Schultz. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. This gain not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They run straight ahead here with Pollard. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Tony Pollard with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Cowboys have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And that makes the score 21-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. They have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner, they can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
Credit the sack to Jonathan Hankins.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, obviously searching for their first touchdown this game, partner. And that quick 3 and out, that's not going to achieve that at all. Give victory to the secondary there. They brought out tight coverage on that 3rd down snap.
So that'll be marked down as a 19-yard punt. And the Cowboys are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Prescott. That is caught by Lamb. And he's down into the red zone at the 16 after a gain of 16. 1st and 10.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now, light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. On the option, here's Elliott. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. So it's the big left tackle who gets tagged with a hold.
And sometimes you're actually executing the block well, and he starts to slip off of you, and instinctively you reach out and grab him. And when it's done like that, it's often seen by the official and called.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Prescott now on 2nd down. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. It's Nakobe Dean with a pick. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick 6 TD. Elliott good with a PAT, and they'll cut the lead to 21-7. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Fields this way up at the 17. And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Back to it after the pick 6. Prescott. He's going to look deep down the field. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And the Eagles are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line. So really the first speed bump that this offense has encountered. They'd had the rule of the roost here in this first half, but now slowed up just a bit by the interception.
And there's a chance that that's a win.
And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's 2nd down. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's a game.
He rifles one that's intercepted. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Cowboys will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And with a little under a minute remaining, they may try to put something together here just to try to cut into that deficit. Oh, and Hurts is going to be hit and taken down to the ground. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. To try again after the sack. Hurts. He's going to look deep for Watkins. And Hurts is intercepted, his 3rd of the game. Picked up by Trayvon Diggs. And the Cowboys are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line. Well, I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me, that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you've thrown this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
Looking deep downfield. He's got a man. Complete. Touchdown, Cowboys. 2 first-half touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And a rout is on here in this first half. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And with the score where it is, even though I think they'd love to get back to the locker room, they may be forced to try and get something out of this drive. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Marquise Bell. And the Cowboys will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line. Well, Charles, you know, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
Following the interception, here's Prescott. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Jordan Davis able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Another try after the first down sack. Prescott. Oh, what a catch by Lamb. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a...
And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime.
Well, that was their 3rd sack of the ball game. 2nd in the league in sacks coming into this one. They're planning on making it a race to the top, aren't they?
Absolutely. They're looking up at that top spot, but they might be looking down at the 2nd spot pretty soon. Anger is on to punt, and he gets this one away. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. They'll throw now on the final play. And he rifles one incomplete. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Cowboys out on top. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando. That's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, it's the Eagles ready to see the football first, and they trail here as we resume action in this 3rd quarter. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
Yeah, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
Sanders on first down, not finding much of anything there, as he might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
I think what we just saw there, partner, was linebacking speed that can trump O-line power. We see that at times because he filled the gap before the offensive lineman could get to the next level and take him on.
Hurts throw here taken in as he's able to find Goddard. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete, but the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Hurts a handoff to Sanders. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. Well, this defense, they've got the 4-score advantage, and you can see why they continue to bottle up the run game. And really, they've just been sharp in all facets here in this one, CD.
Yeah, they've kept that offense in check the entire game, and I think it's been led by what you just talked about, that defense.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Kelvin Joseph. The 40. The 20. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. Well, what has been a fantastic game for this defense has been rough for this offense, and certainly a signal caller, Charles, that's thrown all these interceptions. Another one there, and this one taken all the way back for the score.
Partner hoping they're holding a nice little spot in the post-game highlights to show this rip of interceptions and great plays this group has made. They've been on it from snap one.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. This will be returned from deep in the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. Hurts fumbles it. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And this is going to be brought back for a fumble return touchdown by the Cowboys. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. The turnover on the last drive, they had the issue in the first half as well. And that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't want to admit it to themselves. But we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. And this will be incomplete. Boy, can you believe this? That one probably should have been picked too. Instead, it's 4th down.
I'm getting the sense that this offense is getting frustrated. Here we are into the 3rd quarter, and they've had plenty of opportunities to get in sync. Thus far, that hasn't happened. They're looking for answers both on the sidelines and in the huddle looking at each other.
Mike's 50. Mike's 50. Man, I got you. Man, I got you. Mike's 50. Mike's 50.
They'll try and throw for it with Hurts. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. A surprising move to go for it, predictably, at least somewhat predictably. It doesn't pay off. And Dallas, they'll take over in terrific field position.
Mike 17. All right, 2-2. 2-2. 17's Mike. Mike 17. Let's go. Mike 17. Mike 17. Set the tone.
Prescott looks to throw on first. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. And the Eagles are going to get it back here just past the 35. Well, with the size of lead that this offense has, I don't think that interception is really going to affect them much. But at least for this defense, something small to hang their hat on.
Yeah, and let's face it, they're not even scoreboard watching anymore, right? They're just trying their best to make a play, get themselves off the field, which they just did, and salvage a little bit of pride in this one.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Another run here with Sanders. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. A gain of just a yard, but it's a 1st down. They'll fake the give to Sanders, and now Hurts. Oh, a contested ball here, and it's going to be caught. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
Mike's 50. Mike's 50. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Hurts sets up to throw it. That is caught. It's the tight end Goddard. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. But 1st down, Hurts. It's caught, Smith. And he'll be brought down at the 27.
Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I'm wondering if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game, because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long. But a nice throw there for a good gain and a 1st down.
And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. Micah Parsons in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
After the sack on 1st down, Hurts. The ball comes out. It's picked up by the Cowboys. He's going to be out of bounds on what's going to wind up being the final play of quarter number 3. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they have to be feeling pretty good. Comfortable 4th quarter lead as they take over following the fumble recovery. Prescott now after the fumble recovery. He sets to fire deep. That's caught at the 25. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown of the game, his 8th on the year. And the Cowboys are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the 4th quarter. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Taken at the goal line. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. At the line, this Philly offense set to go. Facing a big fourth quarter deficit here, things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season, but in this one, well, their defense has really struggled. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Here's Hurts to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Up the middle, and hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And the return will stop right around the 25.
You've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing has ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down. The man in motion is Brown. To throw again on 2nd down. Prescott. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. But Charles, they're still airing it out at this point, despite that huge lead. And some people may be saying, well, why are they throwing the football? These guys, I guess, are just padding their stats at this point.
Yeah, there are a lot of big grins, I think, from people in their families, from themselves. You're exactly right. Pad the stats when you get an opportunity. It'll certainly help you come contract time.
And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
There's a beautiful throw there, and he's been sensational the entire game, moving it around, spreading it, hitting the right guys. And look, under normal situations, partner, I would expect him to come out of the game now. They've got it in hand. But you and I have been around this league a long time, and every time we ask head coaches about it, hey, why don't you take your quarterback out when the game's in hand? They just kind of give us that look like that's what he's paid to do. So it's a very unusual situation. I'd want him out. They tend to leave him in.
Running the jet sweep as Prescott bats it forward. And a good display of footwork will only get him just inside the 5 to the 4.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. Elliott. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
Well, the spotlight hit him once already tonight as he got into the end zone. He was trying to make it a double spotlight, wasn't he?
But credit the defense, bottling him up, not letting him get in for the 2nd score there. The kick by Marr is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And just looking ahead, it would appear that that bye week is coming at the right time. They'll have 2 weeks to chew on this one, though probably not one that they want to chew on. A poor performance from start to finish. Snap will come from the 31 on 2nd and 7. From the gun, it's Hurts. And it's complete right back in the hands of Smith. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain there of 21 yards. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
They'll throw on first down with Hurts. They're unable to connect, but a late flag comes in. And the contact may have come too early. Well, there were about 70,000 that were quickly calling for that flag. It comes out there for pass interference.
What do you think, partner? A little sarcasm in that cheering from this crowd here tonight. What they're hoping now is to build a little momentum off of it and give them a more genuine reason to cheer down the road.
Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Another try after the first down sack. Hurts being chased out left. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Hurts. And now here is another interception. And the Cowboys are going to take possession here at their own 6-yard line. Another great play defensively. They've been sharp on both sides of the ball, Charles, but that interception means that this defense will very well keep them down to single digits on the scoreboard in this game.
And that's certainly something to smile about, isn't it, partner, if you're on defense? Because your goal every game is to pitch a shutout, but you and I both know that's pretty unrealistic. But to hold a team below double figures in a game, in an NFL game, that's certainly something to take pride in.
Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it's second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Throwing here, Prescott. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 seconds to go in half number 2. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
Forced out. Oh, Prescott stripped. And the offense will cover this one up, but they'll be pushed back inside their own 10. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. On to punt now, Anger, as he boots this one away. Taken right around the 44. So holding there on the return, and that'll back them up to start the next drive.
Yeah, that's a pretty easy call right there, partner. I think when the officials look in their manual and see the expression jersey getting pulled, that's a flag coming out every time.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. He'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And incomplete on the deep ball.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
In motion right is Smith. And with inside of 10 seconds, 8 to be precise, we get whistles and a timeout on the field. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. The Eagles will take their 3rd and final timeout. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside.
Panther 60, Panther 60.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for Dallas, their good start continues as they get their record up to 4-2. And they'll return home next week to take on the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for Philadelphia, they can't quite seem to turn things around as they fall into 2-4 now on the year. And now they'll head to the bye week as they'll be back in action in Week 8.